Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and how is everybody today? We're here at Center for Practical Spirituality, where we are going to get you started for the whole week. What do I have here? You know, whenever you look in this camera, all of a sudden you see things that you did not know were on your face. I think I had some glitter, and I don't even know where that glitter came from. I do apologize. So we get you uplifted and glittery and prepared for the week. And so, you know, today what we're going to do is we're going to get you starting with our statement of being, and we say it together. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And so it is. And so it is. So a few announcements. In a few weeks, which is going to be 2 weeks from now, it is going to be Resurrection Sunday. It's going to be Easter Sunday. So, you know, it's kind of like if you haven't reached out to your family to say, hey, what are we doing? It's a good time to actually reach out. Now, the other thing is that we're going to be here at Center for Practical Spirituality. So if you'd like to actually come over and, you know, have that wonderful festivity with us, please do so. We're going to be here. More than likely, we have some little niblets that we're going to be able to nibble on and just, you know, just be together, most definitely. Now, the other announcement that I'd like for us to kind of take into consideration is going to be where we have a special request by Mr. Lee Motrin for us to uplift him in prayer. Tomorrow he's going into surgery. And so, you know, we're going to uplift him, uphold him, and we're going to be sending perfect divine healing energy, you know, to him so that he can, you know, expeditiously actually be rejuvenated and replenished and renewed, you know, right after his surgery. So we send that to him. Yes, ma'am. This upcoming Sunday is going to be Palm Sunday. You're right. Exactly. So next Sunday is going to be Palm Sunday. So for those of us that would like to get some palms, most definitely go out there, get some, and put them, you know, usually where we would usually put them is going to be over the threshold of your, you know, the front of your door and also the back of your door, you know, or you can go ahead and have them with you, you know, throughout in your vehicle, in your office, you know, wherever you'd like to have them. I'm trying to think of what else is going to be coming up. Some different marches are actually going to be happening, so look those things up. And other than that, I think that is it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our wonderful lesson for today. Claim your power. So what happened just the other day, which was on March the 20th? What festivity or what wonderful, you know, from an astrological perspective, what just happened on March 20th? It's springtime. Thank you so much. The spring equinox. The spring equinox happened, okay? So in many senses, we are at a new year. That is the beauty of it. We are in a new year right now. So, you know, I know we have New Year on January 1st, but in reality, our new year starts on the 20th, or started on the 20th, which was spring equinox. Because that's renewal, rejuvenation, replenishment, and we're moving forward. What else happened on the 20th that we all should be so elated? Anybody know? End of Mercury in retrograde. So we're now in the post period, and so by the March 30th, we're going to be totally and completely done, and all communication will be back in play. We'll be able to have great communication. You know, there's going to be these electrical, you know, kind of like mishaps that are happening. We're going to be able to be once again, you know, kind of, you know, flowing just right. What else kind of happened? If I'm not mistaken, it was Mercury and Venus with, anybody want to take a guess? With, what's your sign, Mijo? With Aries. So we have Aries as well in this mix with Venus as well as with the with Mercury. So we had a whole slew of stuff. Now, why is this so important? Because when we're looking at our power, when we're looking at the Christ consciousness within us, when we're examining our Buddha mind, when we are looking at, well, what is going on and what's affecting us, we have to take into consideration the moon, the stars, the planets, spring, what's going on from it's a springtime action, Mercury out of retrograde. So now we're going to be able to move forward and do the things that we're wanting to do from a legal stance, from a contract stance, all of those things. So whenever we're just aware and we go beyond just kind of like, oh, well, it must be a coincidence. And there are no coincidences. Everything is happening exactly when it needs to happen and how it needs to happen. Okay, so claim your power by giving and knowing and having an awareness and knowledge and wisdom of the things seen or unseen, known or unknown, conscious and subconscious. FYI. Okay. I am black because I come from the earth inside. Take my word for jewels in your open light. Odd Lord. All the power in the universe is within you. Feel it, know it, and then act as though it were true. So today I was listening to this one lady. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I did listen to this part. She said, when you recognize a particular energy that is vibrating in front of you, when you recognize what is a potentiality, when you recognize all of a sudden the recognition of that wave pattern, energy pattern, when you recognize it, it will manifest, attract, and demonstrate. If you do not, in any which way, form, or fashion, recognize what is in front of you, what is passing or going, it will continue to be the wave. That wonderful, electrical wave that's going in front of us. And that is why it is important that we claim our power. So right here, as a universe is run by an infinite mind, so our life is controlled by our thinking. By our thinking. What you think about, you do what? You will bring about. When you start stating in a very beautiful and wonderful and serene way, Dolores Cannon stated, and I wrote it down. Hold on, because I wanted for everybody to know about this. I didn't just write it down. What I did was I went ahead and I saved it because it was that important to me. And I knew it would be important to all of us. Hold on, let me go to it. The Healing Temple. So, after we leave our body, we go into the healing temple. And so that healing temple will get rid of, in our soul, the soul body, it will clear the body, that soul, it will clear it of all things that are no longer, to be attached to the soul or to because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So that spirit is then, purified in the healing temple. Now, the cool thing is that at night, according to what Dolores Cannon was stating, she said that we all, as we're going into slumber, as we're falling asleep, we can say to the universe, take me to the healing temple. I am now at the healing temple. What happens in the healing temple while you're still connected to this world is you will be able to go into that healing temple and your soul your body, is recalibrated. It is renewed, replenished, and rejuvenated. Okay? So when you ask, as you're going into slumber, I want to now go to the healing temple. All of a sudden, it's kind of like that genie. Your wishes are command. And so you'll be able to go to that healing temple and your body is rejuvenated. Okay? So remember that affirmation. Now, no knowledge will free us. Which knowledge? The knowledge of truth. The knowledge of that source is everywhere and that you and source are connected. There is no separation between you and source. Claiming your beauty and your worth aligns with the knowing you have all the power of the universe within you. It's not outside of you. You and the universe are one. So right here it says, offering your words as jewels confirms your knowledge that infinite mind works through you. In society, there are judgments about every aspect of being human. Race, gender, social status, religion, physical configuration, talents, and resources are tracked, counted, and categorized. If you look for reasons to put yourself down, you can find someone or some group to accommodate you. Have you guys ever, you felt bad one day, right? And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like you have somebody who actually confirms that you're feeling bad by insulting you or by saying things to you. And you're just like, wait, hold it. No. How did this happen? That was an inner thought. Well, your thoughts create and also attract. Why? Because you are setting out a specific vibration. You are sending out that particular energy. And whenever somebody recognizes that energy that you have sent out, they're right in front of you. So be careful. It's no longer be careful what you're thinking about or what you're praying about. It is be careful what you're thinking about and praying about, because it will be brought about. It will be in your face. So now with karma actually, showing itself as fast as it does, we are now seeing that if we do something wrong right now that is against karmic law, what happens is that we face the karma immediately. It may happen within 24 hours. It may happen within 2 minutes after you've done something, but it's going to happen. So be careful what you're thinking, what you're stating, and what you're feeling. Okay, those three things are very important. Right here. You can find someone or some group to accommodate you and your negative thinking. But you can also attract and be accommodated by that positive thinking that you're also doing, okay? By the way, just remember that. When you look for what makes you less than, you can see it everywhere. Everywhere. On the other hand, by affirming that you are made on purpose and that you are worthy to be heard, you contribute to the narrative and you change it. Change your thinking. Say it. Change your life. So a gentleman asked me today, Katrina, so, how did you, kind of get out of the, lack for a better word, the lack mentality? And so I'm going to grab my water real quick, guys. Sorry. I have to drink some water.
And then says you suffer more from your imagination than from reality.
You suffer more from your imagination than from reality. That monk was right. Because, the imagination can run wild. And I'm going to say, just a minute, I have to drink my water. Hold on. And this thing isn't open. It's opening, but it doesn't want to open. Espérame just a second. Hold on. I'm a little parched today. Just a little. Just a little. I do apologize. That monk, whenever he says that your imagination will do more harm than your reality, is very true. Because it's called fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. When you continue to imagine, okay, let me go ahead and say this out loud. When you continue to imagine that let's say that you're married, okay? Now, a woman's intuition, just listen to it, okay? Because it's always right. No, well, yeah, 99.9% of the time, okay? Let's just put it that way. Okay, and a man's intuition is good too. Maybe it's 95% right. He just rolled his eyes at me. Oh my God. Okay, so back. So whenever there is, for intuition, okay, whenever there is that, your imagination. So you have a boyfriend. And I remember when I was a young girl, my mom, being Hispanic, she would say and told me, men are going to be men, Katrina. They all cheat. They all this. They all that. So for a long time, guess what I believed? I believed that, It's kind of like, but once I started, like I met other people and other men that were very faithful, I started changing my thinking and I changed my life. Because I was able to meet a gentleman who was together with one of my best friends. And one, he was very faithful. And two, the other thing that he did was he was raising his child. Okay. And so whenever I told, my mother that this gentleman was raising, she goes, oh no, that's impossible. No, a man doesn't do that. But I'm seeing it with my own eyes. The person has this child full time. The man is raising his or her son and daughter. It's kind of like that man is doing it. And I remember whenever I was a case manager, for a particular company, this young man, he was left with his daughter, and and he was in tears in my office. And, but yet he persevered. He was doing everything that he possibly could to take care of his daughter and to give her the very best life because she deserved it. And that's when I started seeing life and I started changing my thinking. And then my life changed. Yes. Oh, you sent it to me? So I get things sent to me all the time. Okay, hold on. So the reason I bring that up is because in the imagination, if you continue to imagine and you continue to say, oh, well, this person is, the guy, you don't trust the person, you're not, you have no, oh, the abracadabra, ain't that the truth? Okay. And so whenever we are imagining something, you can regardless of what happens, you can either imagine the very best outcome or you can imagine the what? The worst. So if you continue to imagine, you continue to fuel the thought that he's being unfaithful, pues chinelas, ¿qué pasó? Órale, güey. What do you think you just created? You end up feeding what, Mary Jane? Yeah, the unfaithful part, because what happens is that, but you have to be very careful because then we as women, our intuition is very heightened. We know when this is happening. So do men, by the way, okay? And especially if they're Pisces. And Aries, because I have one over here that kind of like knows. Anyways, more than he should. Anyways, back at the ranch. So what you have to understand is that the monk stating that our imagination can do more harm than reality, that is very, 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 very true. Very true. Stop feeding the madness and start feeding the joy. Okay? Now, My very first, when I was much younger, a few years ago, I had to do a presentation at the state level. And I went ahead and I started my speech with abracadabra. And they all just looked like, oh my God. And so right now, words or spells, speak with intention. Abracadabra, which is very true. Abracadabra is stating every word you speak waves a thread of reality. Abracadabra isn't just a charm. It comes from the ancient Aramaic meaning, I create as I speak. So make sure that you're speaking and that you're creating a beautiful reality. So don't say, I broke. Whisper, abundance, I'm broke. Whisper, abundance flows to me. Don't say, I am so tired. Chant, my energy is returning with grace. My energy is restoring with grace. Oh, I tell everybody, oh, honey. It's kind of like, I can feel, tired. But in reality, sorry, my book fell. I am rejuvenated, replenished, and renewed. I am full of energy. I have the energy of 1,000 men, women, and children. You guys want to know what my secret was? Whenever I was doing the master's degree, I was opening Center for Practical Spirituality. I was working a full-time job, and I was preaching, not just at one place, and then I was going and I was doing weddings and funerals, and I was doing one of my affirmations was, I have the energy and the perseverance and the strength of 1,000 men, women, and children. And I would say that over and over and over again. Why? Men, women, and children. Men, because of their brawn. Women, because of their perseverance. And children, because they had energy going everywhere. And I'm going to tell you, it's kind of like, and I was much heavier than what I am right now. I mean, right now, it's kind of like I'm itty bitty in comparison to what I used to look like. And so I went ahead and I continued to do that affirmation. And as I continued to do that affirmation, I saw that I was, moving mountains, because they were in reality molehills. So right here for energy, it's kind of like, this is an absolutely perfect affirmation. Instead of saying, oh, I'm so tired, my energy is returning with grace. Another one is, don't say, I'm alone. We are never alone, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to burst that bubble. We are never, ever, ever alone. Nunca. I mean, it's kind of like if we only see what's in front of us, like our hands and our fingers and, this apparatus right here and so on and so forth. But if we would stop to really understand all the spiritual beings that are surrounding us, protecting us, and that are with us, whoo, honey, you would be amazed. And so here it says, instead of saying, I'm alone, say, love is drawing near, aligned by fate. Love is drawing near, aligned by fate. You want to master your words, shape your world. Every syllable is a spell, and your voice is your wand. Our words are our wands. So create. Abracadabra, which means I create as I speak. So as we continue this wonderful lesson, when you look for what makes you less, you are going to see it everywhere. But when you look what makes you absolutely astonishing, you are going to see it everywhere. On the other hand, by affirming that you are made on purpose and that you are worthy to be heard, you contribute to the narrative and you change it. You change all of a sudden it's kind of like people want to hear what you have to say. People are attracted to you. All of a sudden you are the answer to another person's prayers. What precious words, what deliberate actions would flow from you if you truly believed all the power in the universe is with you? And we are to affirm at this point, I am that I am. I am that, I am. Because I am patterned after the divine. And my words are gifts. We are a gift to all people, and all people are a gift to us. We are the Christ mind, the Christ, essence in expression, and we are the Buddha mind also. And so you have to take into consideration that there is not a spot that God is not. And I know I say this time and time and time and time again, but I want for all of us to remember that, everything that's going on right now in this universe, in this world, it is for a bigger purpose, ladies and gentlemen. We are all elevating, and we are all taking ourselves. We're either going to stay in the third dimension or we are going to elevate. And within the next year, what we see right now is not going to be the world that we have known, and it's going to change. We're going to wake up one of these days and boom, it's going to be absolutely astonishing. We have gone through hell, and we continue to go through different things because we allowed it to happen. And now our wonderful essence of truth, of love, of joy, the matriarchy is now coming to fruition. And we have to understand this. Our relation to Jesus. In his Son, the Father sees us. And as his Son, he gives us place. Jesus said to all who through understands could receive it, ye are the daughters and the sons of God. My Father is your Father. My power is your power. Lord, I believe. How many of us truly do believe that the Christ is within us, through us, and as us? How many of us truly do believe that the only thing we have to do is say that prayer, and that person on the receiving end of our prayer is going to be healthy, whole, and complete of heart, mind, body, and soul? Who in this room, who in these right now, who we're talking or whoever's hearing me, can understand that whenever you state it, whenever you claim it, whenever you decree it, it is now done? Jesus told us, and those of us that understand in the New Testament, he said, you will do greater than I. You know why? Because we are his legacy. We are God in expression. We are the ones that are continuing to bring about love and joy and peace and perfect harmony. And anybody else that's still believing es a pendejo, I'm going to say it right now. You're the problem. Did I say it out loud? Did I? Okay, now do you understand? The only reason that the fool continues to be a fool is because other fools continue to say this. Yay! Oh, look at it. Yay! Stop. In the name of God, in the name of Allah, in the name of Muhammad, in the name of whatever you want to call it, stop in the name of love. Stop. Stop. Enough people have already died. Enough people have already been killed. Enough people have already been raped and molested and hurt. Enough is done. It's over. And we are going to elevate, and many are going to actually wake up and see that they were going down the wrong path. And that path is now leading them and bringing them to a wonderful circle. It's kind of like they're taking this, they went down this path and they were like, oh, it's great. And everybody was, and then all of a sudden they started seeing, oh, what? Wait, hold it. Yeah, right? Yeah, yeah. The deception. Because I'm going to say this. You know how we're deceived? Whenever somebody, I remember this ex-boyfriend. Ay, Dios mío. Handsome. Oh, my goodness. Gorgeous eyes. No, hombre. All of that in a bag of chips, right? No. Okay? Because I could never be my authentic self. I always had to like be like, something wasn't right and I didn't feel easy. And I wouldn't allow that person to manipulate me and to kind of coerce me and to kind of, and I would be like, bucking and arguing and this and that. And then, well, finally we went ahead and went our separate ways. And years later, I found out that he was a con artist. A con artist. Okay. Man, he painted a good picture. Okay. A good picture. Oh, I'm this and I'm that and da 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 da. You know what I learned from him? I learned not to boast. That's what I learned. I learned to be authentic. And I learned to listen to my gut. And that is the Christ within me. We are coming to an elevation and to an understanding, and we are now going we're leaving the third dimension, ladies and gentlemen, okay? We're going into the fourth dimension. From the fourth dimension, we'll go into the fifth dimension, and we'll continue to go. It was shared just recently, and many communities understand this. There are people that are just leaving this world. I mean, by the droves in so many ways. And so the reason that they're leaving this world is because of the fact that they have a bigger assignment on the other side. And as they have that assignment, they are to guide all of us here on this world and on this earth. If you're still here on this earth, you still have an assignment. And even if you don't know what your assignment is, continue to say, thank you, because I now know my life's purpose. Thank you, because I take the right steps into my life's purpose. I now know that I am walking my life's purpose. I am attracting the right people that are to come into my life, and I am to come into their lives for my life's purpose. I am now elevating others. As I elevate myself, I'm now elevating others as they are choosing to be uplifted. We all have our number one power, the power of choice, the power of free will. Choose wisely, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let me see. In John 17:23, it says that the world may know that thou hast loved them as thou hast loved me. And in Romans 8:17, heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ. And I want for us to remember that the Christ consciousness is love. Okay, Sermon on the Mount. Remember that. The Christ that we are remembering and knowing. And please remember that there are different ways to get to source, okay? Source, whenever we say God, we think of a male. Whenever we say God, we're going to be thinking of God, which is going to be way up here. No, we want to think of source. We want to think of infinite intelligence. We want to think of divine mind. We want to think of creator of all. Creator of all means it is neither feminine or masculine. It is both and together. And each of us are the representation of source, of creator that is of all. We need to understand that we're a small little planet in a huge universe that's around other universes. And, we're not the only species that's here. I'll just say it that way. Our dogs, our cats, our cows, our fishes, our trees, our plants, our lizards, our crocodiles, our giraffes, our cockroaches. Sorry, cockroaches. You know, our fleas, all of them. They all have their life's purpose. Our snakes. I have to emphasize that we are to expand in our knowledge and in our awareness. And that means that the conventional is not going to be conventional anymore. So let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ. And that is Philippians 2:5. We are all interconnected. So my assignment is, if you haven't seen The Matrix, go watch it. All of it, not just one. Watch the whole trilogy, okay? If you haven't watched The Matrix, watch it. It's maybe a little sci-fi-ish, a little bit more scientific, you know, but it's also very spiritual. So just know that. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get off my little, John 14:27. My peace I give unto you. May each and every one of you find peace that passes understanding. What was Jesus's wonderful gift to all of us? Love. What was the other gift? The peace that passes understanding. That is the most wonderful gift. That's another gift that just keeps on giving. Okay? So if you haven't found peace, then be in silence so that you can hear God's voice. God's voice is silence. Be in silence for a little while. You'll enjoy it. I promise. Now that one I can promise, but you have to get into it. Okay, so let's go ahead and hold our tithes and our offerings and our prayer requests. If you have any prayer requests at this very moment, we're praying for Lee Motor. We're praying for Danielle. We're praying for, oh my goodness, there's another person that I was thinking about as well. I just sent them, for another lady named Sharon. We're praying for the world. We're praying for this universe. We're praying for those that are being afflicted and affected, you know, by the current political things that are happening. Peace be still right here, right now. We're going to claim and proclaim that justice, divine right justice is prevailing and bringing every injustice to its knees. And we are also going to be stating, claiming, and proclaiming that all of our bank accounts are now finding and having avalanches of abundance within them, through them, and as them. So at this very moment, let us go ahead and hold all of our tithes and our offerings in our hands and our prayer requests, and we say together, divine love in me, as me, and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And so it is. And so we are going to see each other next week. It's going to be Palm Sunday. And we will go ahead and keep going, being renewed, replenished, and renewed. Thank you, each of you who are here. You know, I send you all the love in the world. So prayers for Sean Massey, perfect divine health. Yes, I see it. I see it. I see it. We're uplifting him as well. So I'm ready for a miracle. I'm ready for a miracle. I'm ready for a miracle today. I've got my mind in tune for one. I'm ready to experience one. I'm ready for a miracle today. My mind is open, ready to receive it. My heart is opened all the way. I do accept a miracle. I do accept a miracle. I do accept a miracle today. I do receive a miracle. I do receive a miracle. I do receive a miracle today. Very good, very good. Yay! love you guys. We'll see each other next Sunday.